It's time to shed a little light on the subject, shall we? Howdy y'all, it's another episode of Ranger Reviews. This time it's something really nifty. This is a Pixel P-20 camera light. Let's see, it says Pixel on the back of it. It's all your controls. You've got the brightness, color temperature. It's a bicolor light. So you control your brightness and your temperature. You can also you can use the battery, and it takes a standard Sony MPF or the MPFM battery. They have them different sizes, and it doesn't come with one. And you can use a 12-volt power supply. It doesn't come with one of those either, but that's one reason it's only $29.99. is you have to supply both of these. But I'll have links for the power supply and the battery. They're really not that expensive. Get them on Amazon or other places, but we'll go into the details of that here in just a second. So what you do, see, it's just a standard Sony camcorder battery. So a lot of people have these already, and the power supply, it's just a standard 12-volt power supply that takes a 2.5 millimeter tip. So it's nothing special, nothing proprietary. But you find out which end of the battery's got the holes in it. You put it in, and you slide it in, lock it, and you turn it on. This sucker's bright. It is 1080 lux, so it's not super bright, but it's bright. You'll see here in just a second. As you can see, it's pretty bright. And if you look on the back, you can see there's the percentage of the brightness and there's the color temperature. So you take this dial, and where it sits right now, you can adjust this. You can adjust it all the way down to 1%. That's how dim you can get it. Not sure why you would need it that low, but it's like just barely on. And then you can turn it back up to 100%. I think right now we'll turn it up to about 50%. But now here, let's see, where am I? Okay, 50%. Now here's why with camera lights, it's important to get a bicolor light, and that's because of color temperature. Right now it's at 56K or Kelvin. And you push this center button, and now you're controlling color shift. And you can take it from, what is it, 5600 Kelvin all the way down, I think it's 3200 Kelvin. So basically you can go just a little bit beyond daylight to where you're getting into the blue shift at 5600 or 5600. So that's extremely white. That's almost bluish. But what you can do is you can turn this down. By turning it down, you see how it starts to shift. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta turn the... Okay, see how it starts to shift into more of a subdued yellowish light. So that's important to control the color cast of the light. Another thing, this light is CRI value is 95, which is the color rendition index. 100 is perfect. 95 is really, really good. What that means is the light that it's putting on your subject is extremely accurate, which that's very important for photography or even doing videos. And to show you what I mean, I have a little statue thingy. What I want to do, I've got my camera rig here. I use this Ulanzi. There's my little camera rig. Indispensable. That's my little microphone. Can't remember what is that, a Boya microphone. But it just mounts on a hot shoe or cold shoe. This is a cold shoe because it's not hooked to anything. But see, it just hooks to that frame. And then this little knob here, you can loosen it and you can adjust the angle, which I think is really cool. So let me lock that down. Yeah. Okay, so now what I want to do, let me fire up the video camera. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to light this up, and first I'm going to use I'll turn this on airplane mode. I'm getting messages. Whoops. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, well, I'm going to turn the video recorder on. And now what we're going to get here is, let me adjust the brightness, because another nice thing is it's not a really harsh light. So we can see with it off. There's with it off. Okay, so it makes a really good fill light. As you can see, there it goes. So that's cool if you're just wanting to record a subject, like you're in a museum or something like that. Yeah, that's really cool. And then I'll show you the color or temperature adjustment. If the light's a little too off to the blue side, so let me turn this down to 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 Kelvin. That's not too bad. Now let me turn the brightness up a little bit, so you can really see what's going on here. While I turn the brightness down, there we go. See, it just kind of, it takes that harshness of the light out, and you can take it down even further to really give it a natural look. Which I think is really, really cool. Okay, another cool trick of this is taking off this hot shoe. Okay, let me get it back up to alrighty. Is if you're wanting to do a side lighting, get some little stand, like I got this little camera stand, and the bottom of this hot shoe is threaded for camera tripods, so you can mount this on a stand. Get it on here. So now we're going to get creative. So now, if you're wanting to shoot with lighting from the side instead of straight on, just right there. Okay. So now you're going to see the difference. Alrighty. So now you can kind of get an idea what's going on here, and then I can adjust the brightness down a little bit. That way you kind of have like a little shadow cast. Sometimes you want a little shadow cast. And then let's warm the light up a little bit. It's a little too blue, too harsh. There we go. So you see now you're shooting with the light from the side, and just kind of gives it I don't know, more character, whatever you want to call it, ambience. I think that's the word they tried to teach me in school. Yeah, we can put the brightness down a little bit more. See, you can get it. I mean, you can really crank it up. You crank it way up. You go all the way to 100. You see, and that's just, that's a lot of light. But then, if you want a lot of light, I mean, if you really want that shadow effect, like you can move this light over even more. So you're really getting a shadow effect. Then you can warm it up a little. There you go. So it's not so harsh. See, so now you've kind of changed the subject of what it looks like. Or you can move this light. You don't have to be over here. You can put it over here. Maybe an angle like that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I'll turn the brightness down. See, it's more of a fill light than anything else. I mean, you can even take and move it back here if you want, like something really dark and mysterious. You know, you can do like that. You can get real creative with it. So I got it in the frame. Let me get it out of the frame. There we go. So you're kind of like that. But you get the idea. I think it really looks cool. And you know, or you can just whatever angle you're looking for, whatever you're shooting for, you can do it with this. Turn that down a little bit, so you can get all as creative as you want. I think that is really cool. So anyhow, let's see what else. There's not a whole lot else to explain about it. It's a cool camera light. I haven't missed anything. Anyhow, it's just really cool. It fits on any hot shoe or a cold shoe. Get this off here. Put it back on my little rig here. You can use anything, even cameras that have a hot shoe on them, because it's a standard. I think I showed that. It's a standard hot shoe mount, and it's got a little thumb screw. I don't know if that's a thumb screw or whatever you call it, to tighten it down so it doesn't move around. So you just slide it on. Turn it off so you can see it. So you just let me get my big fingers out of the way. You just loosen it up. There you go. You just slide it onto your hot shoe or your cold shoe. And the difference between a hot shoe and a cold shoe is a hot shoe, there's electronic connections that go into triggering the flash and stuff like that. This is what's called a cold shoe. But you can see it just fits nice and neat. You don't have to do anything special. I love this frame. My sister got it and it didn't fit her camera, so she handed it down to me. And it's Ulanzi. I don't know if that's Italian. Anyhow, I'll have a link to this. I think they're, what are they, like 15 bucks? They're really not that expensive. They do make some that are a little more expensive. I think they're aluminum, but it's a good heavy plastic, and it's got 3 cold shoes up on the top here. Plus it has, how many? It's got 2 screw mounts, so you can get really creative with it. And then it's got a standard camera tripod mount. Just really cool little outfit. Whoa, my camera just did something weird. But it's really cool, and it fits any Sony NPF or NPFM and because they make them in different capacities. You can get whichever kind you got. I just have this smaller one, and so far it lasts. Because I was goofing around with this earlier, for about an hour and a half, and had it on, and it did its thing. That's another thing. Let me turn this on. God, I almost forgot. If you look on the back here, because a lot of these don't have it, is that right there is a little battery indicator. Now I've charged it back up so it's fully charged, but it lets you know how much juice you got left. So I think that is really cool. Everything about it's really cool. And you might not like the idea that it doesn't come with a battery or it doesn't come with the charger, but for $29.95 or $29.99, see if you can find one cheaper, because when they start adding batteries and they start adding external power supplies, they shoot up to $70-$80 in a hurry. You can get a battery and a charger. Actually, there's the link that I'll have, there's 2 batteries and a charger. I think it's like $17 or something like that. AC adapter, I'm not really sure. I'll have it. You'll be able to see it down, because I'll look for, and but they're really cheap. You can get them really, really inexpensively. Other than that, it's just really cool. And like I said, and I've got it on this frame to show you size-wise. You can fit a microphone in this light. It's big, but it's not huge. It casts a really nice, soft light, but it gets really, really bright. I don't know how many LEDs it has, because if you notice, let me turn it back on. And this is this is what really sold me on this, is if you look, well, you can see most LED camera lights, you can see the LEDs and they're really harsh. It's got some kind of a luminescent glowing panel, and it doesn't say how many LEDs, and I'm not exactly sure the technology behind this, but it casts a real nice soft, it's like having a soft box on your light, so the shadows aren't harsh. It's just nice. Let me see, okay, you want to start recording this again. Okay, so you can see the shadows that it casts. Let me turn it up so you can really see okay, see how trying to get the shadows in there. With these other lights, well, there you can, okay. See, the shadows aren't sharp. They're just nice and soft, and that really makes a difference when you're lighting your subject. Because if you've got a really noticeable shadow, it really it can ruin a shot. But I mean, you can see that the shadow itself, it's there, but it's almost non-existent. So that is just so cool. Let me see. I'll turn this off. You can see. Yeah, you see how it lights the subject up, but it's not harsh. It's just a really, really nice subdued light. I love it. So that's about all I can say about it, other than links in the description. The awesome addition to anybody's camera bag, especially mine. I'm gonna love it. I have another one that's a smaller one, but this just struck me for $29.99. I already had the battery, so I wasn't gonna have to spend the extra money. And most people have these batteries anyway, that have, older camcorders, like you might have an old Sony camcorder, because this style of battery has been around for a long time. But it's awesome. It's definitely 5 Rangers. Definitely 5 Rangers. So check it out. I'll have the link. You can go check it out a little further. The company is Pixel. It's the Pixel P-20. Awesome, awesome camera light. So God bless everybody, and we'll see you on the next review, whatever it might be. See y'all later. Bye.